Welcome back, Mama, to our 4th Hinge workout. Today we're going to be starting on the ground and then working our way back up after our warm-up. As always, make sure you've got about 3 to 5 feet of space around you. We are going to need that chair, that ottoman, that bench to hinge from today, as well as some dumbbells. Bands, if you have them, that's nice. You can always use those as well. That's totally fine. Keep that water nearby. Let's go ahead and get right on into it, reaching right on up. Pressing those palms to the ceiling. Exhale, drop it down. One more time, all the way up. And let's exhale, drop it to the left. Stretching out those lat muscles on our right side. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Drop it down into some arm circles. Setting that intention, waking things up. Taking that time here. All right, let's switch directions. Awesome. Dropping it down. Let's do some hip circles. Driving those hips all the way back, all the way forward. Really feeling that stretch in those hamstrings. We're going to be lengthening those a lot, contracting those a lot today. Switching directions. Really dramatic. Mildly ridiculous, some may say. Perfect. Going ahead. High knees. Working on those hip flexors. All the way up. All right, now kick yourself in the bum, do the opposite side. We're lengthening those hip flexors as we bend those knees. Setting that intention for today. Dropping those down, open up those hips. Knees go up, out, and down. All right, let's do it inwards now. Nice big hip openers, dramatic circles. Alrighty, slowing it down, dropping it down. Let's go ahead and make like a door and hinge. Meet me down on the mat for our very first working set. All right, welcome back. Let's get right into it. We're gonna start with some single leg glute bridges. So just remember for setup, hands go first. Back comes down just about bra height. And our feet are at such an angle, we're at full extension. We have that right angle from our knee down to our ankle. And because these are single legs, we're gonna get one foot up in the air. If your body allows and you find it more comfortable, you can cross your legs, that's totally fine. Or just get one up. So we're gonna start right foot in the air, pressing through the very sole of our left foot. Hinge up, that's one rep. We're gonna do 10 on each side, take a rest, and then 2 more rounds. 3, 4, 5, 'Last one, and we'll switch. 10, switch it over for 10. Making sure we've got that neutral spine, hugging baby up and in. And last one. Dropping it down, hands go first. Bum comes down, back comes off the chair. Grab some water. We're going to take a 30-second rest. I'm just going to do a little form check. Go through that while you do so. Really important here that we've got that neutral spine. So we're closing those scissors. We're not spilling water out of the bowl that is our pelvis. We're making sure that we've got that nice neutral spine because that allows us to have this be a leg and glute exercise and not a lower back exercise. I had a professor once that said any exercise is a lower back exercise if you do it wrong enough. And that is really true when we hinge. All right, we'll give ourselves a couple more seconds here. When you're ready, hands go first, feet come up, back goes down. Find that neutral spine. So here's what I'm talking about. This curvature in my lower back here, we're gonna neutralize it. So I'm bringing my pelvis a little bit more level. If there's a bowl of water there. Right now it's spilling out the front. Tuck it in, nice and neutral. Left foot comes up first here. And let's go ahead, glute bridges. That's my favorite Bridges brother. Not Jeff Bridges, but glute bridges. 3 more. 2. And 1, drop it down and switch. You might find it trickier on your non-dominant side. That is all good. That's why we do these one-sided, so that we can address any asymmetries. 2 and 1. Hands go down. Sit right down, back comes off. Give yourself a 30-second rest here. We've got one more set of these. Then we're gonna move on to some donkey kicks and fire hydrants. So just giving us what we need here. If we're finding these easy, you're welcome to grab those weights. Just lay them across your hips, either side of your belly. That is totally perfect. Whew. Checking in on our bodies, making sure we're passing that talk test. Nothing should hurt. We shouldn't feel dizzy. Just make sure you're checking in with yourself. All right, let's go ahead. Hands go up, feet come up, back goes down. We've got one more set. Let's go right foot up first. Pressing through all 4 corners of that left foot. Glute bridge up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Left foot comes up for 10. Hugging maybe up and in. Halfway there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Hands first, then booties go down. Grab that water. I'll introduce the setup of our next movement. We're going to be doing some donkey kicks. So we're pretty familiar with these by now. We can get that chair a little bit out of our way if we need. We're going to work on that quadrupedal stance here. So walking those hands out so they are directly underneath our shoulders. Shoulder blades are back and down. And our knees are directly below our hips. And just like in our glute bridges, we're kind of counteracting that natural curve of a lumbar spine by creating that neutral spine here. Nothing too dramatic. Just bringing things up and in, belly button to spine. We're going to go ahead, starting with the right leg. We're going to kick backwards with a bent leg this time. And just squeezing with the top of our glute at the top of the movement. Going to do 10 each side for 3 rounds. All right, when you're ready here, let's go ahead. Foot is flexed. Left foot comes out. Back in. Really squeezing at the top of this movement and making sure our hips are staying parallel with the ground below us. Really focusing here, remembering to breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Let's switch sides for 10. Really moving with purpose here, squeezing as hard as we can at the top of the movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, shake it out a little bit. Grab that water, give your body what it needs here. Taking those breaths. Resetting those shoulders. Remember that we're not bringing our shoulders up to our ears, dropping them down. And when you're ready, let's walk back out. Right leg first, foot is flexed. Let's kick. 5, 2, and 1. Let's switch sides for 10. Hips are square. Three, 2, and 1. Drop it down, shake it out, giving ourselves what we need here. One more set of these, then we're going to do our fire hydrants, and we're going to bring it back up for those hinges, those big swinging movements. All right, when you're ready, let's go ahead, walk those hands back out. Wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. Right leg foot first. Right leg first, flex that foot. Sole of your shoe to the ceiling. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, switch sides for 10. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go. Shake it out, drop it down, grab that water. And the setup for our next movement, our fire hydrants, is exactly the same. You're probably familiar with it by now. Let's go ahead. When you're ready, reset those shoulders and walk out those hands. And left hip, we're going to start first, opening up to the left. Keeping that abdomen nice and square with the ground. 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, switch sides for 10. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Shake it out. Give yourself what you need here. 2 more sets of these. Already walking those hands out. Left side first. In 3, 2, 1. Fire hydrant to the left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, switch sides for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, and 1. And it is totally normal to feel that burn in our stabilizing leg as well. That's nice and normal. It just means we're working, those muscles are firing. Just making sure those hips are square, baby's being hugged up and in, and we're remembering to breathe. Couple more breaths here. We're gonna get into our last one, then we're gonna head right back up. All right, let's go ahead, walking out those hands. Wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. Left foot first, flex that foot. Fire hydrant to the left. 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, switch sides for 10. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Give yourself what you need here. Grab that water. We're going to head right back up for our last 2 working sets. All right, let's get right into our last 2 working sets here. We're going to start off with our kettlebell swing using a dumbbell. Grabbing onto that dumbbell between our pointer and middle fingers on both hands. Seal it right around. Hips are going to go, feet are going to go just wider than hip width apart. And remember, we're screwing those legs into the ground. Hugging baby up and in, our shoulder blades back and down. We're going to go ahead, hinging backwards. So we're pushing that button. We're closing that car door with our booties. Send it backwards, pressing forward and through with those feet. Coming up. That is 1 rep. So we're going to go ahead and do 3 sets of 10 of these. Setting ourselves up. Let's count it down. 10. Push that button. You got this. Really moving with intention. 2, 1. Drop it down. Shake it out. How are we feeling? Are those hamstrings working? Are those glutes working? Or is the lower back working? If the lower back is working, really focus on hugging baby up and in and sending that booty backwards. Like we're closing that car door. We've got our hands full of groceries and we're just shutting it behind us here. 10 seconds here. Shoulder blades back and down, baby up and in. Screw those feet into the ground. Let's swing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, shake it out. 1 more set of these. Now that we're reaching the 4th week of our programming, these might feel a little bit easier, which is where I want you to add a couple reps, or if you're available, grab a little bit of a heavier dumbbell. We really want it to be hard by that 10th rep. All right, feet go wider than shoulder width apart, shoulder blades back and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding on to that dumbbell, grab that water, give your body what it needs here. We're going to finish it off with some dumbbell Romanian deadlifts. Grabbing onto that second dumbbell, when you're ready, we're going to grip it nice and strong. Remember, we're holding oranges underneath our arms, hugging baby up and in. And we're going to go ahead with our feet just about hip width apart. Drive that booty backwards, glide that dumbbell across your shin. Pressing through with both heels, bring it back up, and that is 1 rep. From 10. Hugging baby up and in, shoulder blades back and down. Hug those oranges. 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, shake it out. Give yourself a 30-second rest here. Give your body what it needs here. Taking that time, catching your breath. All right, let's go ahead, grab those dumbbells. Shoulder blades back and down, booty back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Give yourself what you need here. We've got 1 more set of this whole workout. Then we're going to go ahead and cool things down. Making sure we're always passing that talk test. I don't need you to be singing to me. In fact, I don't want you to. That's our measure of intensity. We want to be able to talk but not sing. All right, when you're ready, shoulder blades back and down. Baby up and in. Grab those weights, hug those oranges. Knuckles along the shins for 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. All right, go ahead. Set those weights aside. Grab that water. Meet me right back here on the mat. We're going to go ahead and cool things down. All right, we've made it. Let's go ahead, cooling things down, reaching right on up. And just to stretch out those lats from engaging them, we're going to go ahead, lean it to the left. Inhale, take it to the right. Dropping those hands out nice and wide. Let's go ahead, linking them right in behind our back. Stretching out those chests. So much of parenthood occurs out here. We just need to open it back up. Perfect. Couple nice, great big shoulder rolls. And on our third one, let's drop them back and down, left ear to left shoulder. Making sure that those traps weren't too greedy. They didn't take over too much. Bringing that nose down towards the floor. Then chin to chest. Nose to the floor on the right side. For a couple breaths here. Then ear to shoulder on the right side. Stretching out that lower body. Let's go ahead, stepping forward with that left foot. Right heel is planted behind us. Square those hips, press forward, stretch out that calf. Might feel it in our hip flexor a little bit here as well. When we're ready, let's rock and switch. So the left foot is straight. Stretching out that hamstring. 2, 1, switching sides. Right foot comes forward. Plant that left heel with a straight leg behind you, pressing forward and through. One more breath here. Let's go ahead, rocking backwards. Stretching out that hamstring. Perfect. Stand it up nice and straight. We're going to grab onto that chair, that wall, that countertop for support if we need it. Left hand, left leg. Pressing forward and through. Stretching out those quadricep muscles. If you sit a lot for work, if you've been driving a lot, you'll find those hip flexors get a little bit crunched up. So this is a great one. Dropping it down, switching sides, right leg, right foot, pressing forward and through. One more breath here. All right, dropping it down. One last time with me here, HMC, breathing in, reaching up. Last one. And thank you so very much. Grab that water. Cheers to yourself. Cheers to your neighbor. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to hydrate. Give your body what it needs. We'll see you next time.